Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Now, let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
And good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Hope you were having a great start to your weekend. The Yankton Bucks football team is defeating Brookings last night, 38-27. Came out with a 21-point lead in the first quarter. Eventually got tied up, I believe, going into half. And that was just a slugfest from there on out. So we'll talk all about that here in our first 3 or 4 segments on the Coach's Corner. Talk to the Yankton Bucks football coaches and also talk some sub-varsity action as well. And, of course, we'll catch up with the rest of Yankton High School sports throughout the show. So thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing delicious Pizza Ranch pizza for the coaches and myself. And always like to get together, chat, and eat some pizza, and of course talk some sports, and more importantly, Yankton High School sports. We'll have our first segment around the corner. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig with you here this morning. Good morning.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen credit card by F&BO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by F&BO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
A radio commercial for hearing loss is tricky. You see, there are 2 scenarios. Either it's you or it could be the loved one you're with. Here's how to find out. If the radio is deafeningly loud right now, it's probably not you. If it's not deafeningly loud, look over at your loved one wearing earplugs. Maybe it's time to visit the hearing experts, Avera Medical Group Audiology Yankton. Doctors Matt Rumsey and Kendra Bailey can get you back to never missing a beat during a conversation. They offer the latest technology and free 2-week test drives. Call 605-655-1220.
Truxedo Truck Bed Covers is proud to call Yankton home and be a part of such a strong local community. Truxedo's commitment to excellence in producing the best product available drives us forward. And it's a commitment we share with Yankton High School football. And that's why we're strong supporters of our Yankton Bucks. So let's unite, pack those stands, and cheer on our Bucks to victory. Be loud, be proud, be Yankton.
38-27 victory over Brookings last night. Yankton Bucks football now 4-2 on the season, and being joined by Coach Brady Booth, Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
Morning there, Bryce. 21-0 lead to start off in the first quarter. Coach Booth, you're pretty happy about that, I'm sure, the way the offense started.
I think I'm guilty of this. I'm sure some of our guys did this too. I got caught looking at the scoreboard and I thought, geez Louise, we're pretty good right now. And if you ever feel like that on a football field, you should run, because it's not good things come after those thoughts. And so I think we got a little comfortable, and I think we're patting ourselves on the back a little bit. And I mean, I don't in the games that I've coached just throughout my career, I don't think I've ever had a first quarter like that I've ever been involved in, where everything went to script and we were dominant 100%. And so, I mean, it's tough to get through those things sometimes when you're a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid, where you look at the scoreboard and we've been pretty good. You got to get things back on track and you got to keep swinging. And, Brookings, I think, caught us maybe thinking we were a little bit too good about ourselves.
And then Coach Olson, obviously the defense goes hand in hand with the offense. Yankton's offense didn't have to have the ball in their own territory until like the fourth possession. That's a credit to the defense.
Yeah, those kids came out and we prepared well for Brookings, this past week here, and they executed it, almost to perfection, and it was kind of fun to get off the field early and watch the offense do their thing. And like Coach Muth was alluded to, it's like one of those things where in a teenage boy's mind, they're thinking 21-0 times 4. This is gonna be a high scoring game, what I'm saying? But Coach is right when he says you can't look at the score, and there's a time where I think everyone got a little too comfortable, and then Brookings, everyone forgets that teams make adjustments, and they have good players for a reason. They were sitting 4-1 coming in for a reason, and we found out how good they can be.
Rugby, a slow night, just 5 touchdowns. 200. People don't understand my humor yet. They're never gonna ever understand it. No, huge night. 241 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing, 48 on the ground. And Coach Muth, it seems that he is always under pressure because he likes to also scramble. But it seemed like the line was holding up a little bit better, at least for his first couple reads.
Yeah, they did. So the one thing I think caught us off guard a little bit, and I don't think it was by design. I just think it was just the way the kid was playing. But they were playing a drop 3 coverage, and the weak side backer who's riding that one receiver through his zone through the flat, when he was done riding him through the flat and he had traded him off to the deep third, that guy started coming with pressure, and so it was late and you couldn't see it. So right when Rugby, that's where his eyes are supposed to go over there on his first read. Once he gets off of that, then that guy shoots. That's where we were getting caught up, and the timing of the play, it was really strange, and that's what was happening with our guys. It's tough to pick up. Coach Huber did a really good job getting us into our quick game a little bit more, where it's just catch the ball and get it out, and move in the pocket with our 600, 700 rollout series, those types of things. And so, I mean, good adjustments. But the thing about Rugby, I don't think, and it doesn't show up in the stat book, is when you need a big play, he finds a way, and he's always involved with that big play. And so, there's a lot of good things on film. There's a lot of things we got to fix too. But just with the way that they battled last night, that it's enjoyable to watch.
Tyler Soler keeps shooting up the record books past JJ Hayna as the number 2 all-time in receiving yards. I don't have his actual full number in front of me yet. I have to tally that up, but he is number 2.
Yeah.
So such an impressive career he's had to this point.
And same thing. I mean, Tyler's just steady Eddie. I mean, he's always there. I don't know how many times those guys this season and throughout the rest of the season have bailed us out just with, big play and coming up with the play when they need it. And when you got guys that start to trust each other, you see more of that, because they get the ball to the guys that they trust and can get you the yardage you need, especially on a third down. And so it's just last night, especially in the second half, it was fun to see how everybody responded.
And Coach Olson last night, defense, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, however, but it did seem kind of like a really like bend, but never really broke. I mean, they're going to score. His Brookings, they run that kind of offense, right? But just under 400 yards, except there was some huge takeaways for Yankton's defense and big plays and big stops when needed.
Yeah, we were able to, win the takeover battle. And, that's a huge plus for us, or for, to change the momentum. They did gain momentum there right at the half. They felt pretty good about what they were doing, and rightfully so. It was our goal to stop the run and force them to pass. Then we got a couple times got caught on our heels and let a defender get behind us, which they called a great play at the right time. Again, we just, like Coach said, a lot of great things showed up on the defense. A lot of things, there's some things we still need to fix. And I'm excited from the adjustments we made to how these kids kind of went and reacted to adversity. Which we've always talked about this team and the adversity and the leadership that we have on this team. That it's a high level character guys, and they don't let a lot bother them. And that showed up last night. Kind of like you said, bend don't break, and they took a few shots on the chin, but they stood in there, and we eventually got the stop and got the win. So that was great.
Now we have resources, but I don't exactly have like the Amazon, next gen stats that we see. Okay. But it does seem that in the latter half of where we're at right now in the season, that Yankees defense has done a better job each week at really filling in those middle gaps as far as stopping the run.
Yeah, and that's important, and that goes, to senior leadership. Charlie Foote's in there, and he was playing a little banged up, but he's and part of that is too, a credit to our defensive line as well. You get Big Case and Store back in there when he could. He just came back, and then he's playing a little offense and defense. So, hopefully we can get even healthier on the offensive side, so we can keep him in the ball game just a little bit more too. But anyway, it's one of those things where, it's going to be, going forward. I think that keeping the guards off our backers and let them flow and play. They have a pretty special crew back there, with Shaler and Charlie Foote and Matthew Sheldon, who I thought had a pretty good game as well at backer. It would be fun to see them all kind of come together, and our team then include Cody on the edge and Lucas Kamshoff. I mean, going from, this quarterback, which we're like, can he tackle? And then, he's become more physical as the time goes, and he's really picking up on the defensive side of the game, and it's kind of fun to watch him progress as well.
And we had mentioned Cody Oswald earlier in the game, but two things on him. One, I just want either of you to talk about just his mental toughness. I mean, I can talk today. His mental toughness. Obviously, he has the big catch, turns into a fumble right before half, and a lot of kids, that's just going to shut him down, right, for the rest of the night. But he just really bounces back, and he had some big open field tackles that shifted momentum. Just talk about that, and then talk about his big announcement committing to Augie.
Yeah. So, Cody, and it's tough sometimes to remember that these are high school kids. We were talking about that before we came in here. I mean, there's going to be mistakes made, and Cody knows with his ability, he's going to be the guy that's going to have to shoulder the load for, whatever team he's on, because he's an elite player. And so to have that situation where, we really have a good shot to score. It's exactly what we want. Try to get a 2-for-1 at the end of half so we can get the ball to start. And, it kind of took some wind out of our sails. The thing that I was most proud about Cody was how he responded, because when you are a good player, sometimes ego can get in the way. And we really try to teach our kids that ego is the enemy. And, Cody, with the way, the accolades he gets, they're very deserved. But last night, him just saying that he had to squash that part of him a little bit to get over it. That's how you get through those things. And he knows, if we're going in the second half and we got to win a tough football game, he's going to have to shoulder a big load of that if we're going to get things back on track. And that was the thing. I was really proud of him, just the way he responded and the way he fixed things. The athletic part, the physical part, he's going to be fine. The mental part, he's starting to come around and really understand how the game works and his role in it. And so I'm really proud of Cody with the way he bounced back, because that 3rd and 20 play where there's a fade ball up the right sideline there, that's a big time play. Both those guys made a play, Rugby and Cody, and it bailed us out of a bad situation. And if you're caught in the gutter because you made a poor play, a while ago, you're not going to make that one. So that's kind of a lesson right there, and really proud of him. The other thing too, with his announcement, that's a real stressful time for kids. I don't know if people really appreciate just that whole college choosing thing. And now with social media and everybody sees it and hears about it. But the big thing is I was happy for Cody getting some relief. I know Augie's excited to have him, and he's really excited to be an Augie Viking. And I know Coach Huber's not real jacked about it because they got a big game today, but I'm happy for Cody and just because it's a big decision, and he's got it off his chest, and he's excited about it.
Was it Coach Huber's birthday yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
Golden birthday 29 and 29. And just to clarify for those people that are listening that don't know that connection between Huber and Augie, Huber is a alumni of USF. So just want to get that out there. Now that he's upset that
I don't think it's more than alumni. I think they got the new locker room named after him or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh no, I know you're saying, yeah, because if you didn't know that, you're probably like, why are they upset? Yeah.
Big former Cougar, big donor. He's all about
we
that
can
Cougar
take the
life.
For another year. I mean, that's great.
He'll probably come in here at #winners win or something. But no, it's fun. It's fun to see, and Cody's proud to be an Augie doggy. He's excited about it and he's ready to go. So it was kind of a fun week this week, those two going back and forth.
Saturday football. While the Lancers play under the lights at Crane on Friday night, I'm not gonna lie, it just seems a little wrong, but it's happening. So Bucks football Saturday evening at Howard Wood Field. As I said, we'll talk about the Lancers, but Lancers at Crane Friday night. For those wondering what the heck's going on, so when's the last time the Bucks were at Howard Wood Field? Was it before you took over at home?
Yeah, I think the last time we were up there was for the President's Bowl against Washington. I think that was 2015. Fall of 2015.
Yeah, I
think that's right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obviously a little different situation. Takes a little bit of a scheduling change as far as how we're laying practice out this week and just what we do with guys as far as rest and things like that. But it's a good opportunity. I think the whole AAA, AA discussion gets blown out of proportion by people that aren't necessarily in the middle of it with their hands on it. And we're excited to play a team from Sioux Falls. It's a great opportunity for us to see where we're at. And, all of the things that go with it, we're just really excited to be able to get to play them. And on a Saturday, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. I know you guys that are into the SDSU USD thing, they play in the afternoon. I'm sure you can get to both, but it's going to be a good opportunity for us in measuring just to see where we're at.
Well, my phone may have the game on during the pregame, but don't worry, I'll be giving full attention once the whistle starts. But no, it's going to be an exciting time. I've done soccer at Howard Wood Field, never football, so look forward to seeing what that is all about, and hopefully another Bucks victory. We'll talk more about Roosevelt as the week goes on. Coaches, thanks for joining me this morning. Go get some more pizza and head into film.
Yeah, time to get to work.
All right, that was Coach Olson, Coach Muth joining us, and we'll come back and continue talking Yankton at Bucks football.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966. And with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. This is Bryce Ladd. We continue talking Yankton Bucks football. And I have Coach Terry Huber, Coach Matt Decker in. Decker taking the spot of usually filled by Colpitts. So someone a little too busy this morning for the Colpitts. No, just kidding. Coaches, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, a big victory last night. Must feel good just to get a victory at Brookings. That's been something that's eluded the Bucks for actually I think like 5 years overall. But there's been some really good games there. And last night at it, this time though, Yankton on top. And Coach, you were talking earlier. What a start for the Yankton Bucks, coming out 21-0. Vantage never had the ball in your own end of the field, so that helps. But the execution was there right from the beginning.
Absolutely. I thought this was the best start that our offense has had probably since I've been coaching the offense here, and so I was really excited about those guys. We do got to work on that second quarter. We were complacent. They thought that and I take complete blame for this. That once you get up by that much, you think okay, momentum's there, it can't go away. Well, obviously it can. I was really proud of those guys, though, the way that they decided to get their minds right before the game. They just let it build up, and they took care of business right away. It was really fun to see.
Yeah, and it seems like the rushing attack at times was kind of hitting a wall.
Mhm.
Schiller had a nice job. He gets those tough yards.
Yeah.
He's doing a nice job, but 106 yards overall. However, the short passing game was really where the bread and butter was.
Absolutely. So, going into the week, we I told the guys, I wish I could tell you exactly what they're doing, but they've been running cover 2, cover 3, both of them throughout the year, depending on who they're playing. Our offense is a little bit different than most of the teams that they've already played, so I wasn't quite sure. So we practiced against both. Obviously, they came out in the cover 3, and then they started sending a decent amount of blitz, which works phenomenal for your short passing game. So you got to take what they're going to give you. The beauty of our offense, especially with Rugg leading back there and the skill guys that we have, is that we can transition our offense into any kind of different location that we need to. If we got to be deep game, we have it. If we got to be short game, we have it. Running game, inside, outside, we have all those tools, and it makes my job a lot easier that I have such phenomenal athletes that are playing for me right now.
And then these two kind of go hand in hand, but you have Rugby obviously last night, a winner and a gamer. We talk about him every week for good reason, and he's the quarterback of the team, so kind of important. And I'm not gonna say he took a beating last night, but he's been taking more and more contact as the season goes on. But he seems to be holding up all right.
Yeah, the thing that I love about it is when I ask him, or whenever we kind of get toward that point where how are you feeling, what's going on, and it's just I'm doing great, and he knows, being a dual threat quarterback, run, pass, whatever he's got to do, he's going to take the hits, but he's out there to win, and he understands that that's part of the game. That's part of what he loves. And I mean, I think everybody saw it last night when he's finishing a run, he's not sliding. He's going to get an extra yard because he's going to put his nose down, and he's going to run through some guys. And
he trucked someone last night.
Absolutely. And a couple times last night, I was just like, that's a guy who's showing his team that he's taking the reins, he's the leader, and he's not just going to ask other guys to sacrifice themselves. He's going to be the first guy to do it for him.
One thing that has stood out, and I always never really want to say like, oh, since someone came back, it's been a whole different, because the offensive line has worked hard all season. They've had some good games, but there's also been some shortcomings that have had, as offensive coordinator, you've had to adjust the offense and how it works. I'm noticing last night that Rugby did have more time to go through some reads. And I think that's because Storr is back in lineup.
Yeah, it's really awesome they got Kaysen back. Obviously, anytime you get a 6'5", 300-pounder back, that's a big deal.
Literally a big deal.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So it was nice. I think, obviously being out for a few weeks, conditioning was a little bit of an issue toward the end of the game. We saw more pressure coming. Just got to make sure that we're getting back on top of that. But I think, he came to that realization that I'm a senior, I only have so many games left. I need to make sure that I'm ready to go when my time is up, and so he's back, and I think he did a great job last night.
And now we'll turn our attention to the new and improved Coach Golpitz.
Definitely improved. Right?
No, Coach Matt Decker in the other seat. First, I need to ask: is Coach Hale here?
Coach Hale is not here.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you all the JV questions then too.
Great.
I was going to ask you about defense, so I'll ask you about general JV. But let's talk about the receivers last night. Tyler Solar, number 2 now all time in Yankton High School receiving yards. Man, him and Rugby this year just want to break all the records.
Yeah, really proud of Tyler. And Tyler's got a great attitude with the team, and he's one of our leaders right up there with Rugby and Oz and a couple other guys. And it's pretty cool when these accomplishments, start piling on. And they don't talk much about them. They're really humble guys. And, like kind of what Coach Huber said, we're just playing the next game to win it. So that's a big deal for our guys. And that's kind of the attitude with that group.
And I do have a special teams question for you, Coach Decker.
Let's go.
And I keep saying almost new and improved Colpitz. See, if you don't show up for the show, which obviously everyone has lives
get roasted.
You're just going to get roasted. It could be something serious, and I hope it's not. It'll be like, oh, man, you missed the coach's corner. No, but 3 weeks in a row, blocked extra point. And what is Coach Colpitz doing with these guys in practice? Because it seems to be there's a nice release on the edges, both edges. Because it's come from each side, twice on one on the other, and it's been successful.
Well, I think it starts with personnel. You put some of your fastest guys on the edges, and there are times where we thought, for example, Mac Reichen, we were like, Mac, you can get that. And he's gotten it before. And I'm pretty sure that's who got it last night, right?
I think Sheldon.
I think Sheldon did, yeah.
Yeah, but Mac, it got close.
Yeah, Mac
absolutely.
gets close every time. And so, you start with putting fast guys out there. And, I'm sure Coach Colpitz has strategy, whether it's overloading one side or not, and Coach Huber helped me out.
Yeah, and I love to see it too, because with the guy that's going to get that block, that there are 4 other guys inside of him that are all causing that block to happen, but they're wearing 1 or 2 other guys trying to block them, leaving that outside edge open. So that's in my opinion one of the favorite things about that is there's so much sacrifice going on from the guys who aren't getting mentioned, so that one guy can make that big play, because that was a huge play. That was a big momentum change. We knew at that point that if it came down to a real tight game, they're gonna have to chase that extra point. So I was ecstatic, just seeing those guys, and Coach Colpitz. I think he is one of the more underrated guys that I've ever coached with in my life. He thinks and thinks and thinks, and he comes up with phenomenal strategies, and he takes everything to heart. I love it. He's gonna do whatever he can to make sure those guys are prepared. And I think the kids, they read that very well. They feel that he is doing what he can for them, and then they come out and they make the plays happen, because we know as coaches, we're good. We got the best seats in the house. We're up front watching it, but they're the ones out there having fun and making plays, and it's just really fun to see those guys do that.
No, he's great, but we also said we were going to print T-shirts about 4 years ago.
Yes, I will say I think he needs to work on his organizational scheduling skills.
See, this is what happens.
I would have let go the radio.
Yeah.
Now, all right, so what do we really think
Maybe
about
that's
Hale?
where he's at right
What do we really think about Hale?
Maybe that's where Colpitz is at right now. He's out making shirts for it.
Exactly. And when we talk offense, obviously you always run the risk, and I always feel bad after, because I always end up leaving someone out.
Yep.
But everyone had a great night last night, or at least did their part. Shaler Platt, those tough yards.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you have, Sheldon had some catches, right?
Sheldon, Goebel.
Yep.
Ozzie had a big night last night. I mean, he had 7 catches, and that's the spot that he's playing in, that extra receiver spot. It's a beautiful spot, but at the same time, sometimes it gets overlooked, because if they cover, if they're bringing that safety over, I mean, really he's covered up, so it's really tough to get him the ball. He knew his assignment last night, and he lived it up. He had a couple big catches. I thought that 3rd down catch that he had, that deep ball right on the sideline, that was a game changer for our offense. We were moving, but we needed that play with a couple. I believe there was a penalty or something right before that, so we needed that play. And he's a guy who told me earlier in the week, like, hey, I want that football, and I want it as much as I get it. And so I believe, between him and Rugby and Solar and Goebel and Tucker Gilmore, there's so many guys with such impressive talents on this offense that, like you said, you almost feel bad, because that you're missing some guys at that point. But I think the best part about this team is they're all humble. None of them would ever take offense to it, because they know truly what they mean to us and what they're doing on the field.
I just remembered Evan Cirk with a big kickoff return.
Cirk and Goebel both. Yeah, I think Cirk had 96 yards on kickoff returns there. Goebel had that one for 32. And then, Solacek on kickoff, he was just a freak last night. A freshman stepping in and taking that role on. It was just, it's so fun to see these guys play.
Yeah, I felt bad. I didn't have his number on my initial varsity roster. And so we're like, and with the big tackle,
number 24.
Number 24. And
24 again.
Yeah.
Eventually, Drew Lawrence texted me. He was like, hey, that's Sadlacek.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Perfect.
But we were talking about Oswald, and this is a question to either or both. And Cody Oswald. Now, 2 things. One, I want to talk about the mental toughness of that kid, because, all right, so right before half, you have a big catch and then a fumble. And I'm not going to lie, that really took a lot of momentum. I felt it in the booth, like, oh, that's not good.
Yep.
Because that was a 2 for a chance. Now it's gone. And you could tell he was down, but how fast did he snap back? Because he had some big open field tackles on the defensive end and some big catches and just big participation the rest of the night.
Yeah, obviously that was a very unfortunate play. I think our offense, our 2-minute offense is unreal. I mean, I feel like it's unmatched. And we had 1 minute, 6 seconds, something like that. Then I know we can score in that amount of time. And when we pushed it down to the 30, we can at least get a field goal there. And, obviously the fumble, a misfortunate thing that happens. With that, we did get on him a little bit, and he responded. There's one or two ways you can respond. You put your head down, you sulk, or you admit, yeah, that was on me. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to come back and make another play. And he obviously chose the right one. He knew it. He told us right away, I screwed up. And then he came back and he did something about it. He made some big plays after the half coming out on that. And I'm just really happy that he understood that, yes, I'm a senior. Yes, I am a really good football player, but I can still make mistakes, and I got to own those mistakes and get better from those mistakes. So that was a really mature thing for Cody last night.
And then committing to, sorry, but for you anyway, to Augie. And Coach Olson actually had a really good point. We were initially talking to them, and Coach Muth said, yeah, and I think Coach Huber is pretty upset about his choice, but didn't really give any clarification on why. For those that don't know, obviously he played at USF. So, but is there a little bit of banter going on?
Well, I mean, obviously it's Sioux Falls first. That's kind of the big. It's a big deal. Anybody that doesn't understand who runs the city should understand the key to the city game is it is a 7-2 record that USF is owning right now, 4-0 at their house. So I told Decker maybe I should have worn my conference championship ring to kind of show Ozzy what you can get if you go to a good school. But I have nothing against.
And if you're a player and you're not here, you're getting roasted too.
No, I was nothing but happy for Cody. I think obviously they ask coaches their opinions, and I just said it's what's best for you. You never choose what a coach has, never choose what anybody else has. It's the best fit for you, and I'm so proud of that kid. He had options to go, and he said that that's the one that felt right to him. And I'm just happy for him. I'm going to obviously hope for good things for him, all except for maybe 1 week of the year, right? So,
exactly. Yankton's JV Bucks so stout this season that Brookings going to make the trip down on Monday, or it's because they got a little bit of the bug in the coaching staff. However, game was canceled on Monday, Coach Decker. So how'd it go?
Well, the upsetting part of this was that we were ready to go, and our guys had the mindset. And talking to the guys on Monday at the varsity practice, they were really upset that they couldn't play, which is a good sight for our varsity program too. Like, we got some guys coming up that want to play this game of football, and they want to make an impact at the varsity level coming up. So that was a good step in the right direction with that JV football team.
And then what'd you guys do kind of instead on that day? Just kind of give them the time off because of the late cancellation or their practice, or?
Oh no, they grinded at practice for the varsity guys. Yeah, they got as much of a workout in as they would have playing a football.
Yeah,
game.
Which I think is great, especially for our depth wise. There's a few of those guys that they're 1-2 plays away from getting into the game. So it is always tough, that you want them to get as many snaps as you can in practice, but we know that those varsity or those JV game time moments, they're very important for the development of this program. So Coach Hale and Coach Decker are doing a phenomenal job. We, after practice, we get to that game as fast as we can because, it's really fun to watch those guys go out there and ball out. Very proud of those guys. Obviously, like you said, there were a lot of guys that you knew that they wanted the opportunity just to go play that game. So it was kind of a little bit of a letdown for them, but I think situations happen. There's nothing that we can do about it, and they responded well, and they helped and did whatever they could at the practice to, whether they're in getting reps or they're running scout, whatever it is, they were taking advantage of the day. They didn't let the day go to waste. So
that's great. At Norfolk on Monday.
Yep, 5 p.m. Yep,
5 p.m. Is that every year that you face Norfolk? Usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
JV level, freshman level, usually.
Yeah. I like when the varsity is able to get scheduling done with Nebraska. And get that figured out. So it's nice. But it'll be at Norfolk Monday, 5 p.m. Kickoff. Coaches, congratulations on the victory last night, and thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bryce.
Coach Huber and Coach Decker, thanks to them. We'll keep talking Yankton Bucks football when we come back.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
Buying or selling in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
It's the season of getting cozy, the season of warm apple ciders and sweet pumpkin pies. Before it's gone, be sure to get in the car, rev up that engine, put your pedal to the metal, and burn rubber before heading straight to the games. Fall sports are back, and First Dakota is sitting right up front with you on this adrenaline roller coaster. Raise your hands with every game-saving point, shout out your lungs when it kicks into overtime, and enjoy the ride of the season. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Kids seem to always be misplacing things: socks, shoes, backpacks, books, you name it. So when it comes to important things like EpiPens for serious allergies or inhalers for breathing problems, make sure there's always some on hand when those items go missing or run out. Hi, this is Michael from Yankton Rexall. We pride ourselves on providing accurate prescriptions and appropriate medical information for your child's health. Good health attributes to good students. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
It's not too early to start protecting against influenza, and the single most important step is to get your flu shot. Yankton Medical Clinic PC offers the vaccine to all those 6 months and older and is hosting drive-through flu shot clinics with no appointment necessary, Tuesday, October 11th and Wednesday, October 12th from 4 to 6 p.m. Visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com/flu for information and registration forms. Keep yourself and those you love healthy this flu season. Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. We continue talking Yankton Bucks football, but we'll turn our attention to the 9th grade football team. Coach Savvy, Coach Swat, good morning.
Morning.
Double overtime victory versus T, and that would have been on Thursday.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to not to have a cop out, but please talk to us about it.
Well, needless to say, it was an offensive struggle on both sides of the ball. Defensively, both teams were pretty solid, and we gave. I'll let Coach talk more about it, but we gave a lot of good field position. Our defense just wouldn't break, and able to keep them out of the end zone for a shutout, which is always impressive. But the one thing is we were able to move the ball at times on offense, and we had 3 touchdowns called back, which is a little bit disappointing. One, a couple by penalties. We had a nice keep around the right side, went for a touchdown, got called back on a holding. And then we had a punt return by Abe O'Brien for a touchdown. And that one, a little questionable as far as a block, all right, in the back that got called back. And then Easton Feeser picked up a fumble, was running down the field for a touchdown. And then they said his knee was down or something, which it wasn't, but those things happen. But so anyway, we had opportunities to score, and but moving the ball, windy day, so passing was tough if you're going into that wind. And then we just struggled to get really anything going on the ground game. So yeah, ended up being decided in a double overtime, which is great for those kids to experience that. Not too many times where you get to go through the whole overtime process. So,
Twice.
yep. So they got the ball first in the first overtime and fumbled right away. And we unfortunately weren't able to capitalize on our first possession. So it went into second overtime. And we got the ball first and were able to score. Made a nice pass to Kale Hazelhorst to about the 2. And from there, Edley Amaro put it into the end zone. Weren't able to get the 2-point conversion after that, unfortunately. And then they got the ball with a chance to tie it up again, but our defense held them on a 4th and goal from the 1.
Oh, wow.
The defense held. So it was pretty exciting. And obviously the kids were pretty pumped up, going 2T, it's their homecoming week. So we kind of tried to get them all pumped up about that and everything. And tough game like that. Nice to come away with the win, no matter what the score was.
My first 2 immediate takeaways are, well, not poor Abel Bryan, but man, sometimes you're only going to get that once in your career. Maybe no matter what level you're at, midweek, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, a punt return, touchdown. But
Yeah.
I'd be really excited to see that flag out. And you're just like, oh no.
Yeah. And it's funny because I kept looking. I looked back like 3 times. I looked back once, didn't see anything. Looked back a second time to make sure, didn't see anything. Was all excited. And then I heard Coach Schwach behind me, and I turned around, and all of a sudden there's a flag. So it was.
It's Coach Schwach's fault then.
Yeah. But I told Abe, I go, and I can't remember, but I want to say that it might have been back to Rex Reichen is the last one I can remember having a special teams kick return, punt return, touchdown. So we're going to kind of unofficially count it, but
Coach Schwach is 4th and 1 stand. Feel just as good as a coach as a big touchdown. I think it would be, right?
I think it's almost better. I mean, we're in the black hat today, but Coach Savvy alluded to this. I think when we say we played with a short field, I mean, almost giving up a few red zone short fields where they are already in the red zone, and defense played fast, aggressive, and yeah. Silver Fox up here probably after a few of those plays, blood pressure. That's the reason I don't wear an Apple Watch during the games, to monitor blood pressure.
Just
but,
vibrating all the time. Yeah.
With that, 4 shutouts, and then Dakota Valley, the last 3 quarters we shut them out. We're going on 7 straight quarters. We got some sacks. I know that's my favorite stat line. Freshman last night got a nice little sack to end the game too, so we'll kind of halfway count that as a freshman sack. But a few fumble recoveries. Edley Amaro made a nice sack, strip, fumble recovery. Easton Feeser forced a fumble and then recovered the one. And good friend of the program, Pauline Rhodes, was taking pictures on the sideline, and I tried my best to plead with the ref. I'm like, hey, we've got a photo. Can we just take a second to review this? He wasn't down. But,
can we go over to her camera?
He said, no, this is not the NFL. We don't do that. So we tried our best. But yeah, they played hard. Line played good. Got a good push. Our corners, really, I just kind of challenged them. The last few weeks we've been playing these kind of wing T teams, both on varsity and the freshman level. And I challenged the corners, hey, just play man, play tough, and work on your man cover skills. I'm like, let's let Coach Colpitz coach you up on the zone coverage the next few years. But right now they did it, which frees us up to blitz, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, nerve wracking, but after the game, I realized it was fun. So
yeah.
When you're talking amongst the coaches, is I see varsity only, like the Muth and Olson, are they pretty excited about this 9th grade defense coming up? Because like you said, they've been putting up some big numbers.
Yeah,
or little numbers technically.
Yeah, that's absolutely from a depth and just I mean, it's maybe as soon as next year for some of them. Depth concern. I mean, special teams. You saw our guy Jace Silachek up there on the special teams made that nice tackle at the end of the game. So just some kind of those backers are just kind of little wrestlers. I mean, both. I'm sure Coach Riley Smith is excited for these guys coming up. Just aggressive, know how to tackle, and yeah, future's bright, potential's there. So we'll just keep working at it, and I'm excited for them. Like I said, this class is kind of a special one because they were my first 7th grade class here in Yankton and second time coaching them. So excited for the future.
Hosting Watertown Thursday at Crane, 4:15 start, I believe, right?
Yep.
And obviously, Watertown always puts out a good sub-varsity team, so I'm looking forward to that one. I'm trying to get there that Thursday. I was looking at my schedule. I know that you're hold your breath, right? Oh, Bryce is here.
Exactly.
No, but I want to get there and watch this 9th grade team because every time I get updates from you guys, it just sounds like a great group of kids and just working really well together.
Yeah, they've been working hard, and as always, we continue to preach the little things, fundamentally still getting better each week. So yeah, but like Coach just said, I mean, there's a lot of good pieces in this group and a lot of potential for some of those guys to continue to see playing time going into their sophomore year, whether it's JV or even some helping on the varsity in some aspects, because there's just some tough kids, athletic kids, but a good group overall. So, and we're looking forward to playing Watertown because we're tired of seeing the wing formations.
It looks like they might have some.
So they might have a little couple in there, but not quite the same. It's not quite as flashy in the backfield, I guess you could say. But yeah, we're looking forward to what's going to be our last home game, actually. So
yeah, you guys have seen the wing a lot between sub-varsity and then varsity for these teams.
Yeah. We were talking about that last night. We count varsity and our games. It's like 3-4 games in a row. It's like, okay, we're done.
They have a wide receiver. Coach Savvy, Coach Swat, congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks.
All right, we'll come back and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? At First Chiropractic Centers, we have been helping people get back into their game for nearly 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, or it looks more like gardening, household chores, exercising, or just daily life, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. First Chiropractic Centers, whole health with hands-on healing, with offices in Yankton, Scotland, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch.
Whoa, that's good.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
You're listening to The Coaches Show on KYNT and KYNT-TV, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. I am thinking we have some more in-studio guests, but they have vanished. I think they went to go get something. We'll hopefully catch up to more coaches in studio, but don't worry, we'll talk all about the sports. We'll start with a recording that I have for you today. Talk to Coach Stacy Reichen of Yankton Competitive Dance and Cheer on Thursday. And, well, here is that conversation. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton Competitive Dance. Coach Stacy Reichen. Coach, recording this Friday morning. Man, my days already get messed up. As you have a competition. Before we start talking about that, good morning.
Good morning.
Since the last time we talked, which was you had the homecoming performance at halftime. Let's start with that. How'd that go?
That was good. The crowd got to see the girls just kind of do a fun little, a minute hip hop dance. So it was kind of a fun little thing for them to do. We'll be doing that dance, I would guess, maybe at some boys basketball games this winter. Maybe we'll do it again at a football game. I think we're set to perform one more time. So the girls like it. It's just a fun dance for them.
And then immediately went to Harrisburg, and you finished fifth in Harrisburg, 257.75. Brandon Valley took the team title, but overall, really excellent performance from the Gazelles.
Yeah, they were very proud. They were good with Harrisburg. I was good with Harrisburg just because we had a long, huge week with homecoming. We finished fifth. I think that might be the highest our team has finished off of a homecoming week in the past couple years. So it was a good day. I mean, the bus ride home, they were awake, they were giggling, but I think it was kind of an exhausted, like we're delirious giggle. There were a few people sleeping, but it was a long week, but it was a great week for the kids.
Pretty much as this is playing on Saturday morning during the coach's corner, you and the girls are at Sioux Falls Roosevelt, at the Pentagon, and for the Invitational. How is dancing at the Pentagon?
Dancing at the Pentagon is really fun. It's just a whole different atmosphere, there. It's a different atmosphere for people that play basketball there. If you play volleyball there, it's a neat throwback building. So it's a good time. The lighting is a little different, so the costumes seem to pop a little more when the girls are out on the floor. So I like that too.
And then Brandon Valley later in the week. And man, just busy, and it never really stops. I've talked about the schedule before, and every time I think it's almost over, you still have like 3 or 4 meets left, it seems. But it's a grind.
We've got 3 meets left in the regular season, and then we'll have the 2 tournament meets, the ESD one at home on the 13th of October, and then state up in Watertown the following weekend. So we're coming to the end, but we're still working hard. It's been a great week in practice this week that we've been able just to not have a meet. We've kind of been able to work on a few things that we need to clean up, that we need to, drill down and get to the basics again. So that's been a nice regrouping time. And then next week we will hit the ground running again with that meets in Brandon and in Mitchell. But the meet on Saturday at the Pentagon and then the one in Brandon, that's kind of the last 2 times where we will see all the Sioux Falls teams, which those are the ones that we're kind of, if I was to predict the top 5 teams at the state tournament, it would be Brandon, us, Harrisburg, Washington, and then O'Gorman's been coming in there really good and strong too. Pierre had a good meet at where they were out. I can't remember. They were somewhere where we weren't. We weren't at that meet. They were there. They were out in Rapid, I think. But they had a really good meet. They had some good scores. So, I told the girls, I said, don't count them out either. They're coming up there. You guys have been at the top. You want to stay at the top. But there's people that are, running on your heels, if you want to use that terminology. And so, we're looking at this weekend, Saturday, and then in Brandon, where are we going to go into the meet? To the state tournament? Where are we going to be at ESD? At ESD, we lose all the Sioux Falls teams. We still have Harrisburg and Brandon in there, but so between the 3 of us, that's kind of, we're competing for those top spots. Our team, we have the potential of winning ESD if we have everything right at night. That night in both dances, they've both, we've had a 290, 289 in jazz. So that's been the highest jazz. Last year, we ended up with a 290 in POM, and it just, all the stars aligned and came together. So we've been talking about that and how can we get that to happen again? Because our routine has everything it needs to have in it. We just need to bring it to the floor.
Well, the schedule coming down to the end, I will always consider Harrisburg Sioux Falls Southeast and Brandon Valley Sioux Falls Northeast. So,
It's in. Well, they have their whole Metro conference.
Yep.
So those teams, that week of ESD, they've got Metro on the 10th, and then they've got ESD on the 13th. So they've got a big week that week. So maybe because we don't have Metro, maybe we can use that to our advantage and win the ESD at home, which would be a thrill for me and the girls.
Oh, for the entire town, that would be absolutely fascinating. Looking forward to. I will be there on the 13th. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Very good.
Yeah, being there for an ESD tournament, that's going to be something special. So
yeah, it is. It'll be a great time.
Coach, always appreciate you joining us. Good luck in the upcoming competition, and we'll talk to you later.
Okay, thanks.
It's Coach Stacy Reichen, Yankton Competitive Advance. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen credit card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
A radio commercial for hearing loss is tricky. You see, there are two scenarios. Either it's you or it could be the loved one you're with. Here's how to find out. If the radio is deafeningly loud right now, it's probably not you. If it's not deafeningly loud, look over at your loved one wearing earplugs. Maybe it's time to visit the hearing experts of Vera Medical Group Audiology Yankton. Dr. Bailey can get you back to never missing a beat during a conversation. They offer the latest technology and free 2-week test drives. Call 605-655-1220.
Truxedo Truck Bed Covers is proud to call Yankton home and be a part of such a strong local community. Truxedo's commitment to excellence in producing the best product available drives us forward. And it's a commitment we share with Yankton High School football. And that's why we're strong supporters of our Yankton Bucks. So let's unite, pack those stands, and cheer on our Bucks to victory. Be loud, be proud, be Yankton.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966. And with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig with you. Thanks to Coach Stacy Reichen for taking the time on Thursday to record for the Coach's Corner. Best of luck in their competition. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles volleyball. Coach Chelsea Law joins us in the studio. Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, congratulations defeating Vermilion on
took
Thursday.
a sweep.
Yeah, a sweep.
Yep.
And improved to 3-11 on the season. Let's just kind of open and question, though. Just talk about that Vermilion matchup. And Vermilion's always a good squad, and it's nice to kind of an unsung rivalry between Yankton and Vermilion, even though it's different classes.
Right. And kudos to Vermilion. I feel like they're very athletic. They're very tall. I don't remember them being that tall last year. So
They all grew.
Right? I don't know what they're doing over Vermilion, but they are tall. So defensively, we were kind of caught off guard. Like they were scrappy getting balls up. Ultimately, kind of what got us the win was clean up our serve receive. We were fairly serving aggressively, but we started to make those shots. We got to kind of move the ball around, take aggressive shots, but definitely mix up our hits.
And there's been many matches, and you all fell on Tuesday to Sioux Falls Jefferson. Okay. And but like I said, 3-11 on the season. I was saying is there's been many matches where you've been right there. We talk almost every Saturday, and there's been so many unfortunate losses, but battles, right?
Yeah.
But how nice is it to finally just have a couple recently where it's just kind of gone in the right column? The win
Absolutely.
column.
Tuesday, we know any Sioux Falls school, we're going to have a play competitive, good volleyball as they should be. They're way bigger than us. Right. So when we go in and approach those games, like we were in it, like it was good volleyball. Like there was windows of opportunities for us to seize the moment to do that. Our defense, I don't know if you weren't there, but like Peyton Mosier's defense, that girl was everywhere. I mean, there was one, I think she was so far out of the camera, like you couldn't see it, but she got one. I mean, the defense, kudos everybody playing the defense. She got the ball. Actually, I think it was the third. She swung her arm out and it went it got and kept us alive. But the defense and the quickness that they were playing Tuesday night was really good. And they were probably one of the better games that we've played defensively, offensively, taking really good shots. Ava and outside Macy were taking very aggressive, smart shots, taking chances. And when you take risks, right, there's risk with failure, but also the more you take those fast risk shots, it's going to pay off in the end. And I think we're doing that on Tuesday.
I've asked this a couple times this year, and I'm still going to ask it a couple more times by the end of the year.
Yeah.
But Where is the junior leadership at to where you wanted it to be or expected it to be before the
Right,
season started?
right. Still junior strong, right? What's is good with like every now and then we'll kind of move some people around, get kind of Chase Dratson in there every now and then, just because they're all juniors, right? And that's great when you have that big numbers, but there's only 6, 7 people that can be on the courts, and everybody wants their opportunities. So what that does for you is it does create a great bond for them because there is so many of them and they want to play together. But it also does kind of have to lead into competition, and you have to be willing to fight for your spot every single time. I think they're kind of realizing now that, wow, what we do this year is going to lead into even more success for next year. And we want those kind of light bulb aha moments to keep happening for them because they're it. So the more they embrace the leadership, the more they are willing to do the things that's going to better the program, it's only going to get that much better for next year. So I think that's starting to happen.
I'll preface it by saying that, of course, I know you're going to say that you want all facets of the game to improve,
Right.
and credit to all facets of the game.
Right.
But I like to ask coaches kind of at this point in the
Mhm.
year, excuse me,
Yeah.
of what facet of the game would you say is the Gazelle strongest so far this season? What one do you think needs to catch up the
Sure.
most?
Defense. I think defense has gotten us through a lot of games. We moved to playing more perimeter defense just because when you're playing at this caliber, you know that your offense, people are always going to swing at you. So defensively, we're in better spots to get up more balls, opportunities to get more digs. I just think defense has got us through. Plus, when you have like really solid defense and you're getting digs that you didn't think you're going to get to, it's just momentum changers because it just keeps everybody going in that breathe. It keeps feeding into the whole I'm going to go, you're going to go, we're going to be competitive. Everybody's going to go to the ball all the time. I'd have to say every now and then our serve receive can get a little bit off, which is a huge momentum shifter too. And that it messes with your serve receive is a mental game, right? So they kind of go up and down and up and down. But if you can stay aggressive with your serve receive and you can win points right away off a serve receive, that's going to mentally give you totally different mind shift, strong mental game. Sometimes our hitting could be a little bit off. Not that we're not trying to take aggressive shots, but I think sometimes what happens is we can't shake off an error where errors are going to happen, but how you take the error as a feedback is going to shift where you're at playing as far as your own mental game. We don't want those little errors to kind of mess us up. We want to keep taking aggressive shots. So we practice a lot of isolation of skills with hitting. They can be very, very aggressive hitters. We want them to be very, very aggressive hitters consistently.
And I should have written the record down. No, I'm kicking myself. But Sioux Falls Christian on Monday, that's a good team, right? In Class A?
Sioux Falls Christian's always good. I think they're number 1 seed right now. They're again,
So,
it's
yes.
like this. Yeah, yes. It's like that with Vermilion. They're always tall. Like that Vermilion team was so tall. They were so athletic. Sioux Falls Christian is just tall all the time. And they've had historically a really good volleyball program. You just know you got to be ready for, they're A school, right? A school, they're dominant A school and they're aggressive and they play a lot of double A schools and a lot of good Iowa schools.
Yep.
So yeah, they're going to be swinging at you.
No matter what sport, interclass sometimes doesn't really mean anything.
Mhm.
A good team is a good team.
Absolutely.
Yep. They can all win at every level. KYNT TV will be there.
Woohoo.
So looking forward to making the volleyball debut of the
Mhm.
season. And you understand why, but I apologize it took so long.
Yeah, it's
but
okay. We
maybe
forgive
don't go on the road for like 95 games in a row.
I think we'd probably say the same thing.
So no, I am looking forward to it. Congratulations on the big victory.
Thank you. It
Coach
was
Long.
good. Good
And,
volleyball this week, and we got a win. So this week was a good week.
yeah, great week. And so that is Monday. Then what's the rest of that week? Look like?
Thursday that we play home Brandon Valley.
Brandon Valley.
So good
Thursday.
games coming up this week too.
Yeah, and I believe we're there for that one too.
Good. Awesome.
So there you go. Full week of volleyball coming at you. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we continue the Coach's Corner when we come back.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please go forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye.
At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Feeser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, and now we continue talking Yankton athletics. Let's talk Yankton Bucks golf, being joined by Coach Brett Syme. Coach, good morning.
Morning.
All right, the ESD meet has come and gone. That was last Saturday. Bucks finished 7th with a 317 score, 29 over par. Watertown took the team title, finishing just 1 under with 287. Watertown just really started the year strong, just kept on rolling, didn't they?
Yeah, they have. Watertown, Harrisburg, and Pierre have all been playing good throughout the year. Pierre, at their invite earlier this year, shot, I think, their school record and kind of blew everybody out of the water. And I think Watertown kind of took that personally, and they really worked hard, and they wanted to make sure that they were the team. It was a 3-horse race. Watertown wins with 1 under par, Harrisburg right behind them at even, and Pierre right behind them with 1 over. So, all of those teams within 2 strokes, and that's who I thought would probably be at the top. We were hoping for, a 4th, 5th place finish. But, some of these teams, we've been battling with all year, like Mitchell, Brandon Valley, and Brookings. They're improving, and it just depends on who plays better on the given day. And, those 3 teams beat us, and it ended up putting us in a 7th place finish. We were hoping for a little better, but looking at it, we did improve our score from earlier in the year by 3 shots. It's just those other teams, did that much better. So we did have a couple of really good individual efforts. Dawson Velick shot a 74, was good enough for all conference, tie for 13th. And, that's just crazy. You shoot 2 over par and you barely sneak into all conference. So it just shows you there's a lot of good golf out there in the state this year, and even just our conference. Easton Velick, his brother, shot a 77, was in the top 20. And then we had a threesome of golfers at 83, Miles Kraske, Parker Riley, and Evan Ness. So take 2 of them, count them as our counters. And then Henry Homestead finished 1 shot behind them at 84. So, we shot 317. We shot 320 there earlier this year. So we improved, but just not good enough. And, we were, like I said, we were hoping for that 4th or 5th place finish. It was going to be hard to catch those other 3 teams. But, it just came down to we made too many double bogeys or worse out there.
And remind me, and sorry, I don't want to get this question out before we get too far down. Remind me, how does all conference get selected? Is it the top?
It's top 15.
15.
Yep,
okay.
Top 15 get all conference. But, like I said, we improved over the score we shot there earlier. We had a good day to play. We went up for a practice round the day before. Thought the kids, really got a good feel for the way course was playing. And like I said, we improved, just not enough to get to where we wanted to be. So hopefully, I think we had a good week of practice this week, and hopefully that'll get us going for a good state tournament coming up here Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, state tournament Monday and Tuesday in Mitchell. And wish I would have written down the scores from last time we were in Mitchell, but you said you tied for 8th? Ninth, excuse me.
Yep.
But overall, except for that finish, how do you like coaching at the Mitchell golf course?
I think Mitchell's a course that we can go out and we can play well. It is a little bit longer course, so for the guys that don't hit it maybe quite as far, it's a little bit tougher because you're going to hit some longer shots into the greens. Some of the greens are pretty good size, so it's not too tough to get on them. But you can get some long putts there. But all in all, I think it's a course we can score on. And if we go up and play well, our goal always is to try and get in that top 6 so that we can bring home a little hardware for the school. But it's going to be tough. I look at the teams that played in the Mitchell Invite, which was basically the whole state because everybody wanted a chance to play competitively on the state tournament course. And you've got some teams that played really well. O'Gorman, Harrisburg, Watertown, those were always big powerhouses in the tournaments we played in this year. Pierre was a little off that day. They finished down in a tie for 6th, but I expect them to be right up there. But, we shot 320. And if I look at it, that tie for 6th was 314. So we were only 3 shots out of being in that top 6. So I think if we play well and we cut down on some of our mental mistakes, physical mistakes are going to happen. We've talked about that before. But if we can get away from the doubles, triples, and worse, and just make sure we find ways to get bogeys or better, I don't see any reason we can't be competing for those maybe 5th and 6th places, but those top 4 are going to be tough to reach out and beat. And I'm sure Mitchell playing at home, they've got that luxury of knowing the course really well. They're gonna play tough there. I'm sure, sometimes that can work the other way, and you can feel a little pressure. But that's what we're doing. We're gonna go try and play the best that we can. Try to compete. Regardless of what the weather brings, and try and sneak in there, hopefully for maybe a 5th or 6th place finish.
Something I randomly thought about the other day, and it's very relevant to Bucks Golf because it's about Bucks Golf, but you and I talk every fall and spring for Gazelles Golf, but we always talk about the weather and how they both have their challenges. It's been fair to say, a pretty nice weather season for the Bucks.
It has. And what I talked to the boys about yesterday at our last practice out at Hillcrest, I said, you know what, if the weather turns a little bit and we get some rain or whatever, I said that might help us. The worst weather conditions we had was actually our Yankton Invite, where it rained for quite a bit during the tournament. And we ended up, with a really strong field, just about everybody in the state, or at least the best teams in the state here. We ended up in a tie for 4th, and we ended up beating Watertown on a team scorecard playoff. So I said, don't complain if the weather turns. I said, let's think about that as maybe to be an advantage for us. Just make sure that we're prepared for it. We take all our, rain gear or cold weather gear, just depending. You never know in South Dakota what we're going to get. So we got to be prepared. You got to go out with a good attitude, and you can beat a lot of players just by having a better attitude if you get some bad weather. And, they kind of said, yeah, we buy into that. And, hopefully that's what they do. They got to just make sure they've got all their gear with them, and, umbrellas, all that kind of stuff. Umbrellas are tough if it gets windy, but we're going to go up. Like I said, we had a good week of practice. It was a good week. We didn't have any competitions this week, so we got to work on some things. And, we're just going to go try to compete the best we can, try and put 2 good days together and trying to get into that top 6.
All right. And what time is what's the start time on Monday?
The start time for the tournament is 9:00 Monday and Tuesday, but our tee times start at 10:00. We're in the second wave off the front 9. So, we tee off every 10 minutes, 10:00, 10:10, all the way to 10:50. So we get to sleep in a little bit Monday. Hopefully the boys will like that and get to go up and play some golf. So, we're just going to go try to compete the best we can for the 2 days.
All right, you heard him. 9:00 start time for the overall tournament, 10:00 for the Bucks, and we will have the link for that tournament. So we'll keep you updated on social media on all KYNT platforms throughout the day, or you can just skip work and head out to Mitchell as well. Coach, good luck in the state tournament, and thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryce.
That's Coach Brett Stein. We'll continue here on the Coach's Corner when we come back.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
It's the season of getting cozy, the season of warm apple ciders and sweet pumpkin pies. Before it's gone, be sure to get in the car, rev up that engine, put your pedal to the metal, and burn rubber before heading straight to the games. Fall sports are back, and First Dakota is sitting right up front with you on this adrenaline roller coaster. Raise your hands with every game-saving point, shout out your lungs when it kicks into overtime, and enjoy the ride of the season. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
Kids seem to always be misplacing things: socks, shoes, backpacks, books, you name it. So when it comes to important things like EpiPens for serious allergies or inhalers for breathing problems, make sure there's always some on hand when those items go missing or run out. Hi, this is Michael from Yankton Rexall. We pride ourselves on providing accurate prescriptions and appropriate medical information for your child's health. Good health attributes to good students. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thanks to Coach Brett Syme, Yankton Bucks Golf. Best of luck to the Bucks in their state tournament. And I have another recording for you, also recorded on Thursday, this time Thursday evening. Coach Caitlin Savvy of Yankton Cross Country. We've had some trouble getting connected throughout the season so far, but we were finally able to catch up. And a very special thanks to her for taking the time Thursday evening to record for the show. Just wanted to get caught up on Yankton Cross Country. Very exciting to have her leading the way for Yankton now, and I think Yankton got a good one. It's really enjoyable to talk to her. But here is that conversation again, recorded on Thursday. And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig, and we're going to talk Yankton Cross Country for the first time this season. We'll talk to Coach Caitlin Savvy. Coach, we're recording this Wednesday evening. See, my days are already getting messed up. And how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Yep, it's been a long week, short week, however we phrase it. We can't get our days right.
Exactly. Coach, a lot of people may still not know exactly who you are, as this is your first year with the Yankton School District, teaching and coaching, but I won't give away too much information. Why don't you tell our listeners and viewers, we're on KYNT TV as well, a little bit about yourself?
Well, I grew up in Beersford, South Dakota, not far from Yankton. I have a couple of family members here. Most people probably know them. So I'm pretty familiar with the Yankton community. I always loved coming to watch my cousins and support them here because even though it's a big town, it still feels like that small town community where everyone comes out to support the activities, the athletics, and really just backs the school spirit up. I went to Augustana University where I got my teaching degree, and through Beersford and Augie, I've been competing in cross country and track for the past 10 years, and it's been a great experience for me. I've gotten to meet so many great people and just really learn so much about the sport and all that it can offer you. So I'm really excited to be coaching here and just supporting the Yankton runners here on the cross team and then the track team later this year. But it's a really great role to just support kids and help them achieve any goals that they have and see themselves in a whole new light.
A proud tradition there is of Yankton Cross Country in Yankton. Coach Luke Yeomans always did a nice job. How was that transition, and how much help was he with you in this new role?
Yeah, Coach Yeomans, he's a great guy. He's really close with Heidi, so I got to meet with him a couple times and just talk through some of the things that I probably should know as a head coach. And he's made it really great just being able to reach out to him when I need it. And he'll provide me with whatever he has on file or any advice that he needs to give me. And not only Luke Yeomans, but Dan Fitzsimmons. He came back to Mount Marty, and I would see him at meets running for Augie, and he would be coaching USD. So we made a cool relationship there. So even now, like going back to when he coached Yankton and they had that really successful girls team, it's been cool to kind of talk with him and just pick his brain about how we can set up a program to hopefully get some more titles like they did.
Well, much of the season has gone by. Most recently, you had the Yankton Invite that was on homecoming, the 23rd last Friday. And the time had to get moved, right? Because a lot of your runners were royalty.
Yeah, I had runners all over the place that whole week. We had runners doing royalty. We had runners in the pet band that marched in the parade. Some of them did pet band at the football game. So it's a challenge because you want your kids to be fresh and be able to compete their best. But I think it was also so great to just see that my kids, they're involved in so much, and they still wanted to show up and have some fun because they love that course, and they just want to be as a team.
And how would you say overall the event went? Because I'm looking at the times right now, and it seems both the varsity girls and varsity boys definitely put up some good numbers. Most notably, Dylan Payer finishing first for Yankton with 16:43.34.
Yeah, Dylan Payer, he's had one heck of a season so far. So really proud of the work that he's been putting in. But home meet, it was a small field, but I think that helped just us practice pack running. And Vermilion Teenagers came. They were our competition in both girls varsity, guys varsity. And the guys varsity race was super cool to watch because Dylan Payer, he kind of led the pack for that first K. Then he left and took his lead and just kept expanding on that. But our second and third runners, Zach Fetty and Nate Schoenfeller, they stuck with Vermilion. And Vermilion had 3 guys in front of them, but Zach and Nate, they didn't give up. They kept running with them. And so by the end, we got Zach and Nate in front of 2 out of the 3 Vermilion runners. So that's going to be huge to show that they don't give up towards the end of that race. And it's going to matter when we compete against Brandon, which we've seen at most of our meets. And that's who we've been neck and neck with.
Oh, are they going to be in your next meet? We'll get into that in a second. It's at South Sioux City at the Jeffrey Dill Soccer Complex. Is Brandon Valley going to be there?
I don't think Brandon Valley's going to make that trip. Not a lot of South Dakota teams are going there. But our big competition there will be North Sioux City. They have a really quick guys team. So.
And for those listening, watching, that is tomorrow, which the time this plays was Thursday. See what happens when I'm doing pre-recording interviews sometimes for Coach's Corner. People feel like they're in the Matrix. Yeah, so as you're listening to this, that meet had already happened. But, Coach, what can you tell me about that complex? I'm assuming you have ran there before.
Oh, Sioux City. I have not ran there.
Oh, okay.
But I did have a friend who she went to North Sioux City. So I was asking her, and she gave me some of the ins and outs of the course. So I'm excited. Our kids haven't ran there yet because they've been running at the golf course in past meets. So they're really excited. And they've been running a bunch of hilly courses these last 3 meets. So they're really happy to be on a flat course.
Well, I wish your entire team the best of luck. We'll catch up next week and we'll talk about that, the South Sioux City meet. And then also we'll talk about the upcoming ESD meet, which is in Brookings. That's always an exciting time of the year.
Yeah, it will be a great weekend. Really looking forward to it.
Coach Savvy, I'm really happy we're able to catch up and talk some Yankton cross country. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Coach's Corner.
Thank you.
That was Coach Caitlin Savvy, Yankton cross country. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
It's not too early to start protecting against influenza, and the single most important step is to get your flu shot. Yankton Medical Clinic PC offers the vaccine to all those 6 months and older and is hosting drive-through flu shot clinics with no appointment necessary, Tuesday, October 11th and Wednesday, October 12th from 4 to 6 p.m. Visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com/flu for information and registration forms. Keep yourself and those you love healthy this flu season. Yankton Medical Clinic. So much care, so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? At First Chiropractic Centers, we have been helping people get back into their game for nearly 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, or it looks more like gardening, household chores, exercising, or just daily life, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. First Chiropractic Centers, whole health with hands-on healing, with offices in Yankton, Scotland, Hardington, Tyndall, and Wagner.
You're listening to The Coaches Show on KYNT and KYNTV, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. And Bryce Ladwick here alongside Tyler Stern, Yankton Gazelles soccer head coach. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Bryce.
All right. Layout. Every time that you're in studio, that happens to me. So I don't know what you're doing.
What can I do? I mean, what can I say?
Yeah, but all right, sorry about that. All right. So anyway, playoffs are upon us. And we don't have the official matchups yet, right? Because seed points have to be
Yep, there's still a game this afternoon that could influence some things. But yeah, so nothing's 100% sure just yet.
All right, blink twice if we're pretty sure where we're going.
I have a pretty good idea where we're going.
You only blinked once, so take that for what it is. But as it sits right now, Yankton Gazelles traveling to Sioux Falls Lincoln opened up the season against Sioux Falls Lincoln. It was a 4-0 loss. But I mean, a lot has changed from the beginning of the year to where the Gazelles are now. And I love these broad questions, but kind of what are some major growth spots for this team from when they faced Lincoln to now?
That's something that we talked about in our film this morning. We had 8 girls starting that really had no varsity experience that first game, going up against a really seasoned upperclassman Lincoln team. And, we played them very competitively. Possession, we actually had 53% of the possession. They created a few more scoring opportunities, but, we were playing with them and, we went through the goals that we gave up against them, and all of them were just, inexperienced goals, not marking up properly, you're not positioning yourself properly, and just some youthful decision making as far as clearing the ball and letting them get it back in. Those few things we clean up, and I think we can make it a very competitive game, just from looking at that. But coming through the season, I can't say enough about just the growth of this team. These players are not playing like the 8th graders, the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors they are. They've really come along. They've picked up and adapted to the system as our system has adapted throughout the season, just to make us more competitive and, work on different lines on the team. And I think we're playing much better this time of year.
Yeah, and you can just tell, just even from a broadcasting standpoint, the growth that this team has experienced. A lot of more cohesiveness, a lot more aggressive at the net, I've noticed. And I know that's something you've been working on.
Yep.
Because I drive by practice a lot and yell your name.
Yes, you do. And I've said it a couple times. This season has really been about phases. First phase, we want to really develop our possession, keep control of the ball. Second phase was beefing up the defense. Third phase, as the season has gone, can we create more opportunities, be a little bit more dangerous in front of goal? And we're just getting to that fourth phase where now we need to put the ball in the back of the net and, complete a few more. Throughout the season, early on, we were doing a lot of straight runs. Everything was straight balls. We've integrated a lot more movement just over the last 2 weeks, a lot more probing runs across the field, just creating some more through balls. And I think our attacking is going to be much more dynamic than anything Lincoln has seen in the past, at least from us.
No, we're talking standings again, because this is just the best and worst time of my life of every sports season in South Dakota when this happens. We need to wait one day. But what other possibilities could happen as far as a matchup if things would shake up?
Yeah, and I apologize. I did say Lincoln there. Really, we could play any of the top 3 teams in the state. So we could potentially travel to Harrisburg, or we could make a trip up to Aberdeen. So it's Aberdeen, Harrisburg, or Lincoln. Again, and that just kind of depends on how the Harrisburg and Roosevelt game pans out today.
Do you know what time they play?
I believe 1:00.
All right, good. If you didn't, I was gonna feel bad. You just have a giant calendar with you at all times with everyone's stuff. But no, I will be keeping an eye on that game. And then, I'm just asking you all the administrative questions about the standings. Do you know when that kind of gets finalized?
We should have a pretty good idea tonight. I believe the state will release something tonight. If not, it'll be right away tomorrow morning.
All right, beautiful. And as I told you before we started our segment, KYNTV will be traveling with the Bucks this year. However, we will be getting consistent updates on the Gazelles and updating our viewers and listeners on the Gazelles as try to keep moving on in the playoffs. It's been an exciting season. It's not done yet, and we'll still talk next week. But Coach Shurian, thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thank you, and thank you for your coverage this season, Bryce.
All right, that's Yankton Gazelle Soccer. We're just going to keep it right here as Coach Dan Bring of Yankton Bucks joins us in studio. Coach, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I'm a little dirty. I've been digging dirt and building a retaining wall this morning.
It's very okay. So if I need construction work done, there you go.
Give us a call, but we're booked up till mid July for next year. So,
but exceptions can be made.
Maybe, yeah. Since you guys are going all the way out to Spearfish to broadcast our game, yeah, that might have a little clout. Boy, I've had a number of people text me again all over the country. Well, 5 of my sons are all like, oh, thank you. That's so nice when those guys do that. And
they're becoming stars in their own right, by the way, on the YouTube comment section. So.
Yeah. It's fun. But again, it's so great that you guys do that. And it is just one, it's made my life easier because I've got a bunch of people that I sent out a scouting report and all the stats that Huddle gives us. And then I have all those people look at it. And then they're like, well, you should do this. Well, you should do this. You ever think about this? And then Tyler shows up and then he tells me, here's a good idea, which I will take it all because Tyler knows soccer. And I really do appreciate letting me steal all your good drills and everything else. So it's been great. We can't wait to have you guys out there on Tuesday.
Well, concluded the regular season with 5-0 win versus Sioux Falls Roosevelt. That was on Thursday. 7-4-3 on the season, 9th in AA. As I say, as this seed point stand right now, and there could be some change maybe in boys, or is that pretty much set in stone now?
Well, it's really been up in the air. Spearfish was supposed to play a game today, and then last night the boys said all of a sudden it showed up that game was canceled, that they were going to play a Class A team, and that's where we thought, well, maybe it's going to change. And Cole Pedersen on our team had done some calculating that if they would have won that game, it would have maybe changed it with Aberdeen. Well, then last night it showed up that they had canceled that game. So I think it's set in stone in the fact that Ryan Morris has already talked to their AD about game times.
Oh, it's Ryan official. Okay. We're good. I'm joking, everybody.
Yeah. So they've already told us that they want to play 6:00 Mountain, 7:00 Central.
Okay.
Which that makes a late night for us, but we'll take it. I'm really happy to play Spearfish. We went through and watched game film again yesterday on our regular season game, and we just weren't the same team then that we are now. Our defense wasn't very good. We made some very bad defensive mistakes, and we have gotten significantly better. And our ball movement, our communication, all the things that we have talked about working on, we have done. I've been telling the boys all year, after day one, I said, we will not talk about winning until we get to the playoffs. Our number one goal is to improve every game, improve to the best that we can. You know, the juice is worth the squeeze sometimes, and we've been trying to squeeze out every bit of juice we can from our talent that we have. And I think we're competitive with everybody, which, you know, our Huron game showed that. Beating Pierre showed that. We beat Lincoln at the beginning of the year. Watertown kind of scares us because they've improved also, but we think our improvement curve is significantly better than the other teams, and I can't wait to go out and play Spearfish again.
Oh, it should be an excellent trip. We're just going to hook our vehicle to the back of the team bus and sleep on the way back. So,
well, we're tentatively planning to go Monday night and go out and make a day of it. I'd rather sit in the hotel in the morning and watch some film at the hotel and go out to eat, maybe go to Mount Rushmore, as opposed to get up, drive 6 hours on a bus, get out there and play, and then drive all the way back. And so we'll do that. Now,
12 hours.
I know it just gets to be long, and then you get stiff and you just kind of get into that mindset of, just groggy. And we did that last year during the Spearfish or the Stevens game during the playoffs. And, you know, I thought it worked well. We were loose. We felt good, went out there and we took care of business. And so, and I will say it's not tax dollars. That's all been donations. We've had people over the years that we've had fundraisers, and we've got an account that stuff like this, that we do it. And over the years on senior night, kids, I have them say what's one of their best soccer memories. And it's almost always when we go on an overnight trip that they get to hang out with their teammates and we get to do something as a team. And so I think it's well worth it.
Oh, absolutely. This team's been fun to watch all season, almost just as fun. And obviously, Conference State Championship is always fun, but it just seems like these kids are having fun together and almost as much as last year.
Well, I think they are now.
Yeah.
And I told them I've been around a lot of teams, and on a lot of teams, you're not necessarily friends with everybody, and a lot of them, they're competing for spots, and there's a lot of competition, and it's hard. I kind of liken it to, imagine if all of a sudden in your neighborhood, someone said, okay, you're going to get all your neighbors together and you're going to have to work for one common goal with all of the different talents and all the different backgrounds and all the different motivations and try to make it work. At the beginning of the season, we had to stand up and introduce ourselves to each other. You get all these new freshmen and all the upperclassmen are like, we don't know these kids. Yeah. And you start from scratch, and you're not always going to be friends, but you have to work towards one common goal. And that's the one thing I'm the most proud of with these guys is we've overcome some adversity. I thought we were whiners at the beginning of the year as a group. Every time we get scored on, they drop their head. I'm like, what, did you break up with your girlfriend? Criminy. They scored a goal. Let's pull up our pants and get going. And they've really done a good job of that. That's evident the last couple of games where we get scored on, man, we run to the middle, we regroup, and then we score a goal back. So again, that makes me excited to go out and start the playoffs.
Are we going to be wearing the press suit again?
You know what? That means business. And, no more just work to get better. It's do or die now, and I keep telling them too, all this U8, U12 club teams, all that stuff, it doesn't really matter. This is where there's a lot of tax dollars going into these boys having an good experience. And along with that comes some expectation. But for athletes, that's the fun part of it, that you get those butterflies, you get that emotion, and now it's time to go out and take care of business. So we're going to do it.
All right. That's Yankton at soccer. Gazelles in 15th, tentatively taking on Sioux Falls Lincoln. Again, tentatively. And then Yankton, Bucks, the 9th seed, tentatively taking on Spearfish. We'll know officially tonight the matchups. Coaches, thanks for joining us here this morning and talking to me soccer.
All right. Thanks for having us.
All right. We'll come back and continue on the Coach's Corner.
Education. That is one of our core values here at Missouri River Associates. Just making a sale is not our number one priority here. Our office is here to educate you on your choices in the insurance world. We are here to guide you in making the right choice for you, your family, or your business. Our agents are honest and transparent with you on your coverages. Let one of our agents show you your options today. Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
In the lab or up on stage, Mount Marty University has a place for you. From athletes and artists to academics and alumni, together we cheer each other on and work to make a difference in the lives of those around us. Show your spirit at a university that celebrates what makes us different. Schedule a tour at Mount Marty University by visiting mountmarty.edu or calling 605-668-1545.
It's time for a new kind of credit card, one that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen credit card by FNBO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by FNBO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
A radio commercial for hearing loss is tricky. You see, there are two scenarios. It's you, or it could be the loved one you're with. Here's how to find out. If the radio is deafeningly loud right now, it's probably not you. If it's not deafeningly loud, look over at your loved one wearing earplugs. Maybe it's time to visit the hearing experts, Avera Medical Group Audiology Yankton. Doctors Matt Rumsey and Kendra Bailey can get you back to never missing a beat during a conversation. They offer the latest technology and free 2-week test drives. Call 605-655-1220.
Truxedo Truck Bed Covers is proud to call Yankton home and be a part of such a strong local community. Truxedo's commitment to excellence in producing the best product available drives us forward. And it's a commitment we share with Yankton High School football. And that's why we're strong supporters of our Yankton Bucks. So let's unite, pack those stands, and cheer on our Bucks to victory. Be loud, be proud, be Yankton.
Olson Pest Technicians is a family-owned business since 1966. And with over 50 years of pest management, they understand your issues, and their well-trained team will help you solve your pest problems. Issues with cockroaches, ants, bedbugs, bats, termites, spiders, rats, mice, or other creepy crawling pests? Give your home a fresh start and use the proven method of fumigation to take care of your pest problem. Olson's Pest Technicians will thoroughly get rid of pests so you can rest easy again. Call Olson Pest today, 800-KILL-BUG. That's 1-800-KILBUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please move forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and let's talk some Yankton Gazelles at tennis. I have the results from the ESD matchup that was on the 27th. Yankton finished 5th, 164 score. Watertown took the team title with a 282. And the only Yankton victory as far as flights was Sabrina Kraske took the flight to a singles title, a conference title for Yankton. So overall, decent performance for Yankton. I'm sure Coach Vanessa Rockney wanted to finish higher, but guess what? Now there's the state tournament they can focus on, and that is on October 6th and 7th in Rapid City. And best of luck to Yankton Gazelles tennis. Try to catch up with Coach Vanessa Rockney next week, Saturday, and see what we can do for that. And hopefully we're talking to Yankton Gazelles state title, but at least a really excellent performance at the state meet. All right, you have Mount Marty Lancer football today at Northwestern College. 12 p.m. pregame right here on KYNT. Make sure that you listen to KYNT. Of course, we don't have KYNT TV coverage for away Lancer football games because of, well, almost all the GPAC schools have a policy in place where they don't allow opposing media to live stream video. And so we do what we can and provide the best radio coverage as you would come to expect of KYNT. So we always appreciate that. Thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing delicious Pizza Ranch pizza. Thanks to all the coaches for showing up and talking to us about the programs, and for those that were able to take time out of their days or nights to do a phone interview with me for the show. And most importantly, thank you for listening or watching on KYNT. I know that we have a very nice following on KYNT of listeners and a new following of those watching on KYNT TV. Always appreciate the support, and always just trying to grow this thing, one day at a time. And whoever consumes KYNT and KYNT TV in general, whether it be the Coach's Corner, any games that we cover, you're the ones making it happen. So I really appreciate that as well. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the Coach's Corner here, and hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. I'm Bryce Ladwig. This has been the Coach's Corner on KYNT.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 1021 and AM 1450.